Hey, honeybee friends, it's Wendy. I'm back. I'm so excited to be here with you. We are using the good old fireplace layering die today, lovely layer die, with the Lodge add-on. This is from the Sawdust and Saddles release, and I absolutely love this fireplace. It took me forever to get it. I don't know why. I finally purchased it, and then I had the add-on, obviously, and I was ready to create. So I die cut everything in white cardstock. I used 80-pound Nina white cardstock. You can get it on the Honeybee website. FYI, if you don't already know this, Honeybee sells all kinds of things, not just Honeybee products. So if you need to restock your white cardstock or get some different adhesives, different things like that, even colored cardstock, there's lots of options on the Honeybee website, so make sure you check that out. I will link below this video to the products that I use here today, and I'm going to include a link to all of the fireplace add-ons. And in case you don't know, this fireplace has Christmas add-ons and Halloween or fall add-ons, and so it's actually on my list to go and purchase all of those now that I have the fireplace. I had the best time creating this, and now that I've created it once, I know I'll be able to replicate this again and again to make really cool cards. For the stonework, I am using Copic markers W9, 7, 5, and 3. For the woodwork around the mantle and the edges, I'm using E39, 37, 35, and 33. These are all Copic markers. Copic markers tend to be the markers that I'm the most comfortable with. I really love lots of different options, but I just haven't used them enough to feel really comfortable. So that's why you see me using Copics the most. I'm sure that there's lots out there that are awesome. It's just getting the time to create with all of them, you know? I'm sure we all have that. We all wish we had more time to create, don't we? So here I'm just layering all these pieces up according to the Lovely Layer Guide, and I'm going around the edges and just putting a little bit of color where there's white spots. Because I die cut all of this in white, there's a little bit of areas here and there that peek out that you can see that white, and I don't really care for that. I want to make sure that everything blends and stacks together beautifully, so I go ahead and go around the edges to make sure that happens. As I'm coloring, I also try to make sure my marker goes off the edge. As you can see on this scratch piece of paper, there's ink all over it, and I purposefully do that because I'm trying to make sure that all of my layered pieces are colored well. Here I'm adding some color to these pavers or brickwork down at the bottom of the fireplace. I kind of didn't realize those were there until I started assembling, and then I recognized that those needed to be colored. These are just more layering pieces that go on the fireplace to give it the beautiful finished look that it has. I have to say, one of Honeybee's greatest talents is creating absolutely gorgeous die cut layering sets. They are so well thought out, so well engineered, and I just absolutely love them. So here, this is for around the little fireplace, the little hearth area that's open, and I just haphazardly colored this. I did not put a lot of effort into making that perfect because I knew it was just going to kind of blend in with the stonework, and I wasn't too worried about perfection. I just wanted to get it colored. Obviously, this video is sped up quite a bit. It took me quite a while to color all of this. Slowed down in real time, this video was an hour and 22 minutes long. And I know that your time is precious and valuable, and so I just speed up because I'll tell you what, I am not a professional colorist. I am definitely not outranked by even some of the other DT members here that are much better colorists than I am. I'm what I would consider your middle of the road gal. I would say I'm a notch above a novice, but few notches below an expert for sure. And I'm learning every time I color. So here you can see I added that saloon and little bull head, the skeleton there at the top, and the boots at the bottom. Those were super easy to color, and I just used the same colors I've been using. I didn't do anything different. So I just went ahead and bypassed that coloring so that you didn't have to sit through that. We are going to use the barbed wire 3D embossing folder here to emboss this piece of cardstock. I decided to keep the background of this card pretty simple because frankly, there was an enormous amount of work that went into the fireplace. And while I thought out some other ideas of making a more decorative background, I ultimately decided this really beautiful barbed wire was the way to go. The one regret I have after I finished this card is I thought that some splatters on the white background would have looked kind of cool, and I just didn't think to do it until it was all assembled. So here I'm going over, do I use the Howdy Y'all stamp set or the Saddle Up stamp set? Both of these stamp sets have some really, really, really cute sentiments in them that are just adorable, and I highly recommend grabbing both of these. You can purchase dies that coordinate with both of these stamp sets, and then you're able to cut out all of the stamps, or sentiments, if that's what you choose to do. I'm going to pop a piece of cardstock into my MISTI, and I decided on the sentiments that say, well, I'll be. And that's one sentiment. And the other sentiment says, it's your birthday. And I have to tell you, that cute little, well, I'll be just pulled at my heartstrings because growing up my whole life, my grandmother and grandfather would say stuff like that, well, I'll be. And so I just think it's a cute little nod to that Western heritage, or I guess Southern heritage that I come from. So here I am stamping with Honeybee's Intense Black ink, and I stamped it a couple of times, just got a perfect stamped image, and then I'm going to die cut both of these out and place them on my card. I have a couple of different people in mind for this card, family members that have birthdays coming up. But I have to tell you, when I come back on my next video with you, you're going to be seeing some thank you cards because I am in desperate need of some thank you cards. I have none in my stash. Can you believe that? Not one. I went through my stash because I desperately needed a thank you card and I couldn't find one. How pitiful. So that'll be definitely on my list coming up very soon. Here I covered the back of the fireplace with dimensional tape, and then I'm just going to, or foam tape, I guess you could call it, and I'm going to remove the backing. Now what I'm doing here is I'm using a pokey tool to peel up that backing because I was starting to do it with my fingernails, and I noticed that it was like kind of getting under my freshly painted nail polish, and we can't have that. I'm a nail polish girl. I like my nails painted, and I used to have them done professionally, like acrylic nails. See that? I checked them. I was like, did I just mess my nail up? And I did actually. I had to go in and put, FYI, if you stick freshly painted fingernails into foam adhesive, it will pull off some of your top coat. Just a pro tip in case you didn't know that. So after I finished making this card, I had to go in and throw another top coat on that fingernail. Here, I decided to take some linen thread, which I have linked below the video. All the supplies that I used today are linked below the video. And I'm just going to wrap it around 3 times, tie a knot, and then tie a bow. I just felt like it needed a little something. And like I said to you earlier, I really wish I would have thought of doing the splatters because I feel like adding splatters to this would have really just been the chef's kiss. And I just hate that I don't have a way to do that now. So as I'm tying this bow, I just thought I would share with you, in the month of August, you didn't see me here on the Honeybee channel at all. And I want to apologize to you for that. I just kind of disappeared. Well, I got a new job, and at 44 years old, I am learning what it's like to be in the workforce again. And I don't know if any of you can relate with what that's like, but it is a little bit rough. And I've had a lot to learn with my new job, lots and lots of training. And I made contact with the folks at Honeybee who are the design team people, Lisa, and I cannot say enough about Honeybee stamps and the type of company they are. if you don't already know this, I just think it's worth sharing. And of course, they didn't know or ask me to share this, but I just think it's worth sharing that the company you're buying from when you purchase Honeybee Stamps products is like one of the best. They are the kindest people, they give so much grace, they have so much understanding and love, and I just really can't say enough about them. I have been impressed by the company itself and the owner and Lisa, who runs the DT, among many other things, and the design team members themselves. Every step of the way, every time I interact, they're just incredible people. And so just know that when you're purchasing Honeybee products, you're purchasing from people who are kind, loving, and care about what they're doing. And they care about the people that are walking alongside them to showcase their products. And that to me is like gold, right? So here I'm just adding some glue to the back of this panel, and then I'm going to glue it down to my card front. I decided to go with Desert Storm from Nina for my card front. I just didn't want a white card base, and I didn't want black. So this I felt like was the perfect kind of in between. And I really loved how it turned out. So this is the finished card. I decided not to do any embellishments. The embellishments didn't feel like they would work for me on this card. And this is how it came together. I think it's really beautiful. I will be giving this to a family member. I can't decide which one yet, but I thought it turned out really cute, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being you, and I'll catch you in a future video. Bye-bye.